Hey, Getbox here. So, we got a new game mode in Madden, and we're going to go over that and the patch today. I'll probably do a patch and a follow-up video. So, we're just going to get into the Superstar KO developer deep dive with JP Kellums and Jake Stein. So, kind of a new, like an overview. A new game mode that isn't really tied into MUT, but kind of tied to a few different awards in MUT. It'll change weekly, they said, but you know, that's not necessarily every week, I guess. But this week there's an 82 overall reward. I believe it's OBJ. I haven't gotten through it yet, but we're gonna kind of give an overview of it, what's going on in the new developer thing. I'll put this blog in the description. But basically, activated X factors. You're basically gonna draft your team. You're gonna pick your playbook, your coach. That comes with your specific playbook that has certain strengths and weaknesses, and then you're going to basically take it on the field against other people, steal players from their team to add to your team, try and go, I believe it's 4-0. It's a little bit of combination of house rules. We're all familiar with house rules. We've gotten like college overtime, then a couple repeats from last year. So this is like superstar OTs in it, with the tug of war once you get to the OT. But it's like one drive and done just about. So Superstar KO, it is on the main menu, so it's outside of MUT. I'll show it to you in game right now. As we go right here. So on the main mode of MUT, as it loads, it's far to the right, Superstar KO. And Madden is free to play this coming weekend. For those people who don't have Madden, maybe I'll do that and talk about that more in the patch video. So hit that right there to go into Superstar mode, but we'll keep breaking it down through the blog. And you basically have a choice of Dot City with Coach OBJ, where you get a much better like heavy run playbook, and your defense is more geared towards stopping the pass. Your run heavy playbook with Emmitt Smith, ground and pound, and RPO, PA heavy. Play actions aren't good. I would assume this one's pretty bad. I gotta play the game mode for quite a few hours to determine which one's the best teams to do. This one's sponsored by Twitch Prime. And Snappers coach Bruce Arian is a balanced offensive playbook, balanced defense, that kind of stuff. McVay has more offensive plays, less defensive plays. It depends. Like, here's the thing in Madden, a lot of people only use a certain number of plays, so having more plays isn't necessarily better, because if they're just useless, then it's not that big of a deal. There's the first, I believe, first coach in the NFL that was female or is female. I don't know if she's still coaching. I just Googled her briefly, but. So she has more defensive plays. She's kind of like the opposite of McVay here, who has more offensive plays. Then we have DJ Khaled, awesome blitz heavy playbook. So they brought in some celebrities for this, and yeah, there you go, Lil Yacht. I can't even say the name correctly. And then we got so after you choose your playbook and with their specialties, it says it right here: plays from the Sandlot, plays for fun. That it is, and lets you never forget it. So basically, this mode is entirely play for fun, right? It's a mode that you're not going to really grind out. You're just going to kind of get into Madden and play it for fun. Kind of takes us back to the old way of gaming. I saw a lot of people complain on Twitter about the lack of rewards for MUT, so they're not even going to touch it. So it is strange about seeing that there's, like, I've done this video before on the different types of Madden players, why people play this game. Some people play it only for rewards to build their roster. Other people play to have fun. Some, you know, are the killers that play for head-to-head competition. So this one's a little bit of head-to-head competition and playing for fun. More of a casual game mode, in my opinion. So it's not gonna be something that the grinders are really gonna get into. But it'll be fun to do, I think. So you're gonna be able to draft players. Of course, maybe I don't even know if I need to put out a guide on drafting. Just like draft players that you want to look at. There will be superstars like legendary that will have like the best superstar abilities and abilities themselves. Ultra rare, rare, and then common picks too. So superstar OT. So basically, everybody gets to drive at their own 25-yard line, unless it's a turnover and you turn it over easier. But basically, we'll just say they start at their own 25-yard line. It's always good, one tip, to be defense first. Just like college overtime, be defense first. And then if 75 yards in front of you, if you score a touchdown, you must go for 2. No kicking, no punting, no field goals, anything like that. They go over how you're going to win, but basically, score more points than your opponent and you win is the football idea. The difference between Superstar KO is how they handle turnovers. I mentioned that where you will start from the spot of the ball every turnover or your 25-yard line, whichever is better. And then once you get the tug of war, once you get the OT, say you both score and both missed your 2-point conversions, then you go to tug of war, which is best of 3. Whoever is closer to the opponent's end zone at that tug of war ends up winning it. So again, it's great to be defense first there too if you have the option. Winning, losing, KO level, and rewards. So rewards, another superstar you draft to your team from your previously defeated team. This is kind of like an idea I went over in the summer about what Madden's next game mode should be. Mine was more involved with like kind of like a more in-depth builder, but this is kind of like you choose it from your opponent's team and you just snatch the player and you add to yours. So like the last game of this will probably be 2 stacked teams versus each other if it's 3-0 versus 3-0. Because I believe it's 4 games. You go 4-0 to win it, and then you reset. Oh, 6-8. Never mind. I'm way off. This team's 6-8. No, they lost 6-8. Wow, I'm an idiot. You can't lose 8 times. But yeah. So then you redraft if you lose. You don't lose anything. Yeah, for going 4-0. So 4-0 is undefeated champs. I was right. Your KO levels, bragging rights, and KO. So how high can you push that number? So you basically you're grinding for XP to get on top of the leaderboard. So it's basically a leaderboard. It's basically big dick waving as this entire mode. So I'm sure somebody would be grinding leaderboards. Quite a few people trying to get that trying to get their name on top. But every week you have a chance to earn an ultimate team reward by playing Superstar KO. These are only once a week, so it is every week. They promised. We'll see. Can't be repeated, but a great way to help build up a MUT roster. So it's in beta for the first little bit. That they've been talking about testing it all. But they kind of give the background on it and then what's next. So then they get the gameplay doing. So my thoughts on this whole thing, as we just went through and kind of gave an overview on this game mode. You draft, you build, you defeat your opponent with X factors. They're active. I think it's really neat. I think this is an important thing to have in Madden that's not necessarily MUT, franchise mode, anything like that. It has a very loose tie-in to MUT, so people that are more just get the game of Madden just to enjoy it, that don't want to grind out their roster, maybe they don't want to pay for draft champions. I fear that this is going to go pay to play in a year or two. They're like, well, we can make some money off this by charging people coins and cash. So that's my biggest fear of the mode going forward. But I think we'll see with the playbooks and everything, what's too powerful, what's not powerful enough. The X factors are going to be glitchy. We'll see if we can draft offensive linemen to help stop the Aaron Donalds of the world and other pass rushers. Because right now, that's pretty powerful. We just saw a zone buff, so we'll have to test that out in-game, and I'll talk more about that during the patch note overview. So obviously the meta of Madden still matters, and whatever playbook has the best plays, that team will probably be the most important one. Obviously the draft will matter a ton, what superstars you can get to match up. Because if you go against somebody with like a superstar activated wide receiver, you're going to have to change your game plan. You're going to have to double that guy up, with the double me or rack him up, that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see what potential this game mode has. I think it was a good addition by developers, and just looking at the blog and looking over it, great job. We got to give EA credit when they add something like this into the game, and then, because we also take away when they take away things or make things worse. So with that said, I just wish it was deeper. I wish it had a little bit more to it to grind out your team. Like my thing over the summer basically had you build your team like on like a road trip, kind of like a road trip in USA. I know there was a game a few years back. It was the not Backbreaker, but what was that? NFL Street had something similar to this too that I heard in my comments about my game mode. So if they could keep iterating on this going forward, 4-0 is cool. But it's not necessarily like building up your own roster. It would be neat to have something similar to this, but I don't even know what the best way of adding more depth to it, if they can, if it's worth adding for a development standpoint to them. Let me know what you guys think, as the ideas for this are endless, and I'm down for it. I think a lot of people are going to ask for more rewards and MUT, and I don't know if it necessarily needs that, if it wants to stay a fun mode that people just don't grind out over and over. Because we got grind out modes in other modes like draft champions, as you get better rewards there. Like funneling people to draft champions to the rewards is important, because the rewards there are pretty good if you're good at the game. Actually really good, in my opinion. So keep it fun, keep it fast, keep it free to play, and add more depth if you can. But right now the depth looks very good at the moment. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know. Like I said, thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.